Okay, fire signs. Today, apparently, it's all about love. So, and healing that love. Two of Cups. This talks about duality. It talks about sometimes mutual attraction leading to harmony, unity. So it can talk about healing in that way, like healing two different sides of yourself, but it can also talk about, so it talks about male and female and being in balance. It talks about the conscious and the unconscious being in balance. So in that way it can talk about creating wholeness, but it can also talk about unions. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a male and female union, right? It can be talking about any sort of union and any sort of partnership that's in harmony, right? The problem is you've got Four of Swords and Ace of Cups. You really want this new beginning that the Ace of Cups, the potential, sorry, I saw 1111 when I said potential. The potential for this new relationship, this new romance, this new creativity, this dreaming, this blessing that you're wanting to bring in. But this Ace of Cups in reverse, it talks about being vulnerable. It talks about sometimes having repressed emotions. And it can talk about a separation or an ending. So the Four of Swords, it talks about contemplation and putting your head over your heart. You see the sword, he's holding it in a balanced way. It has 3 here. So it has this balance. The two become one, right? And then he's got these 2 swords behind him in the past. So these 2 thoughts in the past that he's thinking about. This one that he's really trying to grapple and get in balance, that's weighing heavily on his heart. And then you've got the golden sword here, which is a combination of a sword and the magician's wand, the magician's tool to create what he wants, what he filters things through in order to solidify them into action. So this Four of Swords with the Ace of Cups, you're really contemplating having this new beginning. You want this, and you might be repressing your emotions. Don't repress your emotions. Let them flow. That is not healthy to do that. You need to be vulnerable at some point in a romantic relationship in order for the relationship to grow. Sometimes one person is more vulnerable in the beginning of the relationship, and then the other person will open up and be vulnerable also. It's a risk that you take, how soon you are vulnerable, or if you are the first person to be vulnerable in the relationship. But you can't have trust, you can't build trust, and you can't have a deep relationship if you aren't. So something to think about. Either way, don't repress your emotions, because that is not healthy. Express them in a healthy way. Even though you're trying to put your thinking, your thoughts, and you're trying to get them in balance and put them over your emotions, your hearts. There's a certain amount of that you can do, but then at some point you have to just let it be. You just have to experience it. So the other card for you was the Hangman, and clarified by the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups, this does talk about long-term love and partnership, this particular one, because it also has transformation. I don't know if you can see I'm not sure if they're tadpoles or if they're some sort of, I think they're tadpoles. Maybe you can see, yeah, the little tadpoles. They transform into frogs. But there's also seashells. There's the duality bookended. There's the seashells and the symbolism of Aphrodite and Venus, with the symbolism of the seahorses mating for life. There's a symbolism of love here in this particular Queen of Cups. And she talks about self-care and using your intuition, but she also talks about, taking a chance, dipping your toe in the water and really giving things a try before you shut them down, but doing it in a way that's protective of yourself, right? Using your intuition to protect yourself. Now, the Hangman, this talks about a form of sacrifice. It talks about getting this new perspective because you've sacrificed something. And sometimes it talks about setting up routines and habits in order to be successful, but mainly it is here talking about this new perspective and how it's going to open up the doorway for you to have this Queen of Cups, this intuition on how to care for yourself within the relationship. You're going to get that inspiration, or how to care for yourself within relationships. Maybe not just one relationship. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow.